Alright guys, welcome back to another Dragonheir video. In this video, I want to do a honest review of Season 2 in Dragonheir Silent God. Season 2 has been open for roughly 10 days now. It opened at December 15th, and then I'm recording this video, it's Christmas Day. So, we're gonna talk about the good and the bad. Alright, did they do anything right or anything wrong? So, it's gonna be an honest review. Alright. Let's get into it. Let's talk about new champions. For all of you guys who haven't played Season 2 yet, I think it's a very good video to help everybody understand a little bit more about what Season 2 is like. So they added 3 new mechanics. In Ice, Thunder, and Fire Affinity. So they add a Burn mechanic to the Fire Affinity. Burn is basically a AoE mechanic. It does a lot of damage. I don't have the champion to test it, but based on the testing from other content creators, I think it has very good potential late game. It's probably gonna have the similar strength to Ice, to the Frost team, right? I think it's a cool stuff. But again, for all the new champions, unless you're spending a whole lot of money, you're not gonna get them. That's the issue, right? So move on to the next. We have Thunderbolt. Again, from this affinity, the Dauntless champion, they used to be like solely about single target, right? Solely about single target. Now they added this Thunderbolt. It's AoE focused. I think it's cool. I don't have any Thunderbolt legendary, so I'm not planning on building any of them, right? So I think it's cool they added AoE mechanic to those single target affinity in Season 1, right? And then we have Frost. Frost used to be a AoE only affinity. Now they added Ice Blast, and Ice Blast is single target focused, which is cool. I do have one Ice Blast legendary, so I might build this guy the second month of the season, right? Because in the second month, you are gonna need a lot of teams. You start to need a lot of teams, and I'm gonna try him out, see if Ice Blast is good. There are a total of 9 damaging mechanics. That is a lot, right? And if you watched my guide video for Other World Exploration, which is the new adventure in the 3rd month of the season, the right way to do it is at least I would recommend people to go with at least 9 teams, right? 9 to 12 teams. Now they added 3 more damaging mechanic into the game, so I would expect there are people going to build 15 teams, right? Probably more than that. But the issue is the pre-saved team of all the dungeons, you can only save 15 teams. So I really hope they can add more teams. This thing here. So you can only save 15 teams in total. This is probably gonna be an issue going into the 2nd or 3rd month of the season, where you will need to build multiple teams, right? I really hope they increase this to at least 20 or maybe 30, right? Right now the 15 is not enough, right? If you guys are not very familiar with what late season looks like you will need, I think you will pretty much build at least 1 team of each affinity, right? And I would recommend go with at least 2 teams of each affinity. Like, even if it consists of only epic champion, you should do that. Alright, that's the champion overview. I do think all the new mechanics are very fun. I just don't have the champion, and I would say 99% people don't have the champion unless they are a huge whale. Alright, talking about summons. Unfortunately, I think there's nothing too excited about summons, right? It seems like the event summon, the banners, they went to the old format, because at the end of Season 1, I think you can choose like 3 legendaries, and at 25 pull, you will get like a epic champion with your own choice, right? It seems like they went to the old format, and it kind of sucks because people were saying this for I don't know how long, since the game came out. People are saying this type of summoning event is pure garbage, because in the summon pool here, you have no chance of getting a exclusive legendary. Like every legendary here on this pool are normal legendaries. You cannot get a tier 1 exclusive or tier 2 exclusive, right? It doesn't really make sense. Maybe they should add a exclusive legendary into this pool. Just don't, maybe if they really want to be greedy, just don't let player to pick that exclusive legendary on their wish list, right? But you're gonna still add it into the pool. Otherwise, those events I will never recommend people to summon on these banners, unless you have one specific champion you really want. You can try to do that. But again, the average cost of getting that one legendary is I think I did the math before. It's around $600 right? Let's say you're not super lucky or super unlucky. You have normal luck. The average cost of getting that targeted legendary is around $600, which is a lot. I don't recommend people to summon in these banners at all. Just go with a normal summon. I think even if you're free to play or low spending, you should get 80 summons every month easily, right? Every month there will be summoning event on those regular summons, which you can get free stuff on the right hand side. You should be able to get 80 Halloween dices for free just by playing the game every month, right? At least I'm able to do that with this account. I mean, if you're not at this level, you can definitely get 60 for free just by playing the game. You should be able to finish, get a lot of rewards from summoning. Alright, that's the summon overview. I think they should just at least do some change to this event. Otherwise, it's garbage. There's no excitement whatsoever summoning in this game, right? Because in other gacha games, there will be excitement like, oh, the developers dropped a very good summoning event where you can get the best legendary in the game, even though it's only a chance. But in this game, no, not really. If you want to get the best legendary in the game, it's only normal summons. There will never be an event. Well, at least for now, there is never been any event which you get a rate up or anything where you can get the best legendary in the game. No, all the events they put out, you can get normal ones, right? Even though there are good ones from these pools, but I don't recommend people to do it. Alright, now let's talk about this thing, the rank system. Alright, so they're doing the server merger, right? I think they merged like 3 servers into 1 or 5 servers into 1. I wasn't sure. But I can see that competition is getting a lot tougher, right? Because they merged server, right? And a lot of people quit the game. So most of active players, I would say they are like at least higher end, right? They've been stuck in this game for 3 months at least. So I would say they're a little bit on the higher end of this game. So I finished this season at rank 12 and I am at 86 right now. Right? I'm at 86 right now. But I'm playing this game low spending right now. Like I have all these packs in the shop. I didn't buy any of them, right? So, but I would say for people who are just started season 2, you can only get this, the first month you can only get this from Temporal Vortex. And I think you shouldn't worry too much about it, right? The real change starts from the second month where you can get a lot of this this currency here. The second and third month, I think where you can make a massive leap is when the other world exploration opens. At least that's what happened to me in season 1, right? At the end of second month, the Continental Challenge, at I think the last week of the second month, I was preparing a lot of different teams. I prepared 12 different teams. And when the other world exploration opens, I can get maybe 22 million damage, max damage on those bosses the first day. That where a lot of people are not able to do that. So I would say like for people who are ranked very low on Temporal Vortex, it honestly doesn't matter, right? It honestly doesn't matter. You will get tens of thousands of progress in these 2 areas. So Temporal Vortex doesn't matter that much. Don't panic. And I can see they did increase the reward. So you can get this golden ticket, top 50. That's where I'm aiming. I think I should be able to do that, right? And in season 1, I think it's top 20. So I think they have the developers consider this, right? They know they merge server, the competition is gonna be tougher, so they make this available to top 50. I think it's a good stuff, and you can get purple tickets top 300. So I think it's a good change. All right. So what else is there to say? All right, let's talk about content. All right, for all the seasonal games I've played, they will have new content, right? So this game added those islands here. Those islands, if I have to be honest, I don't really feel anything special about them, right? They have storylines, but I just hit the spacebar nonstop. I don't really care about the lore, because it's not really like a AAA role-playing game, right? Right. So I believe that's what most people do. They just skip the dialogues. Like if you actually read the dialogues, let me know. All right, I'm actually curious about what the story it is, right? But this whole storyline lasts about 3 to 4 days, and that's it. You finish everything, and at least for now, there is no new dungeon. There is a new challenge, which is called, I think it's called this thing here. Once more into Battle of Two Towers. This is the new challenge, but this is like once a week stuff. I haven't done it yet, and it seems like that's the only new PvE challenge from this place. Alright, and that's it. There's nothing else. Like these side quests, they're whatever, right? So to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed about the seasonal new stuff, because from other seasonal game I've played, they shouldn't be only having new content where new storyline you finish in a couple days. It doesn't make sense. It needs to have a type of new mechanic which makes your champion stronger, and it's seasonal, right? Just for an example, maybe they add another gear slots here, called whatever the name it is, and you can only acquire them from the seasonal challenge, right? Once the season over, this gear slot is gone. It needs to have something like this. At least that's what my experience is from playing other seasonal games, right? Because in season 2 right now, the way you level up your champion, the way you empower your champion is 100% the same. They reset the champion, having you refarming the same dungeon over and over again, and you're just gonna gear up these champions the same way again, the way you did in season 1. And they did mention they added a new gear set, right? But I wouldn't really say it's new gear set, right? They are just gear sets that having the different effects. I know in season 1 this skill haste attack set is kind of garbage. Nobody used it, but it seems like they reworked the 3 pieces effect. I think this gear set right now, you have a lot of potential in some champions. It's much better now. In season 1, this is like your basic attack can heal you or something like that. That's what I remember from season 1, the skill haste set. But in season 2, they reworked this, as well as the crit rate attack set, right? They reworked this. So I wouldn't really call these new gear sets. They just the developers reworked this. I think it's a good stuff because right now it's kind of more balanced, right? And yeah, there are new continental challenges like these. You will have to play these to unlock the dungeons or unlock to level up, to have the journey XP and unlock the dungeon. And then you're just doing the same old stuff you're doing. And it seems like that's the daily routine for now. When I look at the events, there's nothing comes up, right? This one is where we can get this legendary champion, right? Maybe this is the Lunar New Year event, similar to the Odir event in season 1. You can get this new legendary. Other than that, I think it's just the same old stuff from season 1, right? I really hope going forward every season, when they require player to level up the champion again, add some type of different stuff when people level up the champion, alright? Like extra storyline, this is not something I care about. Maybe just add a fun skill tree or fun gear slot that is seasonal. I think that's gonna be much more fun than adding those island where is a storyline at least I don't really care about, right? How many of you guys care about the lores in a mobile game, right? So yeah, and I really hope they just make more new dungeons in the game. I think the combat style, I really like the combat style, and there's nothing else to talk about, right? And we have the same temporal vortex guild boss. We have exact same stuff, exact same mechanic. And then I want to call out the developers, like, why are you making all those AoE mechanics? Like, very cool, right? It's burn, wow, so cool. And we have thunderbolt, so cool, right? Where can player use these, right? There's not an area in the game where you need heavy AoE damage, right? I know you need AoE damage in Goblin Slayer or maybe in PvP, but a Frost team is enough to do that, right? My point is, you only need to build one team with heavy AoE damage and you're done. There's not a single counter in the game where it requires multiple AoE damage team. So why should people build these champions, right? There's not really a AoE heavy area except the final boss of the season, which is the dragon boss. It's called the end game, where it has 3 targets. That's where the AoE team shines, right? But it only lasts for 5 days. Like every 3 months in a season, you need heavy AoE damage for 5 days, right? And I think all the existing affinity or mechanics, they can perfectly handle that already. You can only use 6 teams already. You can use 6 teams only, what I mean by that, right? So they really should put out a challenge or a dungeon that is not too easy and requires heavy AoE damage. Otherwise, I just don't see any reason to build these AoE heavy teams, right? There's not a single area in the game that requires it, right? Yeah, that's I guess that's all the things I can think of going into season 2. I hope this game does better. I like the game a lot, right? But season 2, I think it's a little bit underwhelming. Maybe you guys disagree. That's fine, right? Let me know your experience with season 2. Maybe I was totally wrong. Just let me know your ideas. If you enjoy season 2, that's great. But I hope in season 3, the game can be a little bit better, right? One thing I didn't mention is arena. Still broken, still super broken, super boring. Probably the most boring PvP experience I had in any mobile game. It's just super boring. Probably I do like 1 battle every day just to get that reward from the battle pass, and I'm just done. Maybe I was wrong. All right, maybe you enjoy PvP. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, that's just my full review of season 2. One last thing I want to mention is there are actually some legendaries that are really underwhelming, and it's been like more than 3 months since the game release. The developers haven't done a single champion tuning. At least that's my knowledge. Alright, I haven't seen any patch notes where they are gonna buff a legendary or nerf a legendary. I did see some bug fixes, right? But I do think there are some legendaries in the game that are kind of bad. For example, this guy here, right? And I think the developers know that those champions are bad. And why not just at least put 1 rebalance every season, right? That's also, I think, something they should do. But we are not seeing that anytime soon, I guess, right? There's no champion rebalance whatsoever. These are all bug fixes, whatever. Right, let me know in the comments. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in a video soon. Bye.